Coming up next, how to avoid self-sabotage in your career, and then how to find purpose in your pain. We'll take your calls and your chats, and it all starts right now. I am coming to you live from Ramsey Studios in Nashville, and you are joining a conversation about who you are, what you were created to do, where you want to do that, where you can do that, and then how do you get there? What's the path look like to actually get there? There being working on purpose, which means you're living on purpose. We draw the connection here on the Ken Coleman Show between your personal mission and your professional vision. Are we all about our work? Is our entire identity wrapped up in work? No. However, your contribution to this world is twofold. The personal contribution, your relationships in your life, family, friends, and then in your work. The contribution in both areas, very important. And you'll see those intersect, bleed together from time to time. And that should happen. What I long for in my life should have a direct effect for what I desire to create in my professional life. And so we want to help you figure that out based on this premise that you were created to contribute. And we're going to look at that role in the marketplace that will allow you to use what you do best, to do work you love, to produce a result that matters to you. That's the sweet spot, the intersection of talent, passion, and mission. So let's help you do that. 844-747-2577. 844-747-2577. Let me just apologize to our audience right out of the gate. Yours truly did some hiking over the weekend. And Joe, I believe that this time of year in Williamson County, Middle Tennessee, is tough on the allergies. Well, it got me. Saturday morning, we were checking out some land and doing some hiking. And boy, oh boy, it got to me Saturday night. So just want everybody to know I'm okay. I am dealing with allergies. I should be able to be coherent during the show. There's not that much allergy medicine in me, but just wanted to let you all know that. Sorry for the listening experience, but we're still going to dive deep. So let's talk about a very important topic today. Self-sabotage. It seems almost an oxymoron, doesn't it? Self-sabotage. Why in the world would we ever hurt ourselves? Lots of different ways to come at that answer, but the fact is we do this. And I'm going to look at this article. This is a great article from Forbes, and I want to apply some of the good stuff in this article to your work life. Now, we're going to talk specifically professional life, because if we can sabotage ourselves in our personal lives, then we certainly can do so in our professional lives, and we do. So let's look at this. Let's look at it through the personal context for a second. The article does this for us. If you think about a time that you've had a setback, and then because of that setback, you fall into a bad mood, and once that happens, you basically go, heck with it. So maybe you blew your eating plan when you couldn't resist a donut or a candy bar or whatever it is. And so all of a sudden you go, I've been doing so well and I slipped up, so heck with it, I'm done, I'm finished. We all do this. And so you're not alone. But this self-sabotage is what scientists call the what the H effect, right? So what the heck? We'll say what the heck today. We'll keep it PG, Nathan. But scientists actually call this the what the heck effect, right? They call it the other word, but we're going to, again, keep it PG for all the kiddos out there. And so what happens is that we mess up, make a poor decision. And because we feel badly about the poor decision, we just say, heck with it. And we dive into more of that poor decision making, almost embrace it and go over the top. I'll give you an example. Dr. Janet Polivy at the University of Toronto put this what the heck effect under scientific scrutiny. She served people who were dieting unusually large slices of pizza to compare with the non-dieters who were served smaller slices of pizza. When a plate full of cookies came after the pizza, the dieters who had the larger piece of pizza were inclined to eat more of the cookies than the non-dieters. Turns out that the dieters saw the excessive pizza that they had already consumed as a license to pig out. So the idea is, I've already messed up. Let's go ahead and just embrace it and make worse decisions. So the idea here is that once we feel badly about ourselves, you are more likely to give up on goals or a pattern, habits of good behavior. And so we just looked at the personal application as it relates to eating or consumption of food. But imagine in the workplace, you've been working really hard to acquire some new skills or to work on some personal development issues that you know you need to get better on. Maybe your leader or your teammates have said, hey, you need to work on this. You've got a weakness here. You tend to do this, or you tend to do this. And what happens is when we mess up, and by the way, that's a part of the human journey, we start to feel badly. I've been working so hard to not make that error, or I've been working so hard not to act this way. And I slipped up and I messed up. And what happens is we get down on ourselves. And this is where the self-sabotage comes in. Just as we do in the eating example that we gave just moments ago, in our personal behavior, in the professional setting, we will sabotage ourselves because we just feel like, well, I've already blown it. I'm never going to be able to get better at it. So now I'm just going to take it out on everybody else. And we can hurt ourselves. I'm frustrated, Ken. I didn't get the promotion. They keep saying I need to work on this, and I was doing really good, and I made another mistake again. And so then we just get angry at ourselves. We begin to believe that we can never get there because we're so defeated that we will then defeat ourselves in order to make ourselves feel better. Well, I never had a shot anyway, so I might as well just be a jerk. That's essentially what's happening. So be aware of the fact that all of us can engage in self-sabotage. And you got to be aware that, hey, give yourself a break. You've been doing good. Yes, you slipped up. That means you're human. It doesn't mean that you're hopeless. It means you're human. It doesn't mean you're helpless. Get back up, dust yourself off, and get better. Because each time that we embrace the fact that we're human and we get back up on the horse, if you will, dusting ourselves off, then we get stronger and stronger and stronger to actually be able to implement the behavior we're trying to create. It can happen. It is when we step into the failures and not believe this lie that we can't get there, that we can't do it, that we never actually make the progress. So something to think about today. You can do it. Forgive yourself and move on. 844-747-2577 is the number. 844-747-2577. Let's go to Paco, who joins us in Shelbyville, Kentucky. Paco, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hi, Ken.
Hi, Paco. How are you?
Glad to be on. I'm doing great.
Good. I'm glad to talk with you. How can I help?
So basically, I just wanted to say up front that I really enjoy your show. And I basically know where my sweet spot lands in. And kind of went through that, and I understand what I want to do, which is to be an audio engineer.
Okay.
I'm a musician at my local church, and since I started that, I've gotten into enjoying a lot how to control all the audio and making everything sound great.
Great. That's awesome.
Now, I just got into the point where I feel stuck because I really don't know how to actually get connected and how to actually make this. I'm actually working on doing a lot of courses and taking classes for now online.
Great. So that means you do know what it's going to take to get qualified. So you're in stage 2 and 3 at the same time. You're getting qualified, and now while you're getting qualified, you want to be working on getting connected so that an opportunity to step into stage 4, get started, comes your way. Is that where you stand right now?
Yes, correct.
Great. So what do you mean when you say, Ken, I don't know how to get connected? And I'm not in any way being sarcastic. I want you to specifically say, this is where I'm struggling, Ken, to find a connection or make a connection. Tell me what's going on.
Well, basically, is I really don't know any audio engineers. Like, I don't really know them close. I may have heard of them, but I really don't know exactly how to get close to them.
All right, so stop. All right, so you have heard of, you have at least some friends or acquaintances who are aware of or know some audio engineers. Is that true or false?
Yes, it's true.
Okay, great. So who are those? You don't have to say their names, but you're thinking of those people right now, that they are the connection point. You know who they are, right?
Yes.
Have you asked them if they would connect you to these audio engineers?
Not really.
Why?
I'm not sure. Sometimes I feel like I have to do stuff on my own. I'm not sure.
Yeah. So is it that you, this could be pride. We all have pride. Is it pride that you don't want to ask for help? You don't want to be seen as the guy who's asking for a connection?
Basically, maybe.
No, not basically, maybe. I think it's basically exactly. You want to answer that. It's okay. This is nothing you need to be ashamed of. But do you feel, well, what are the emotions that you're feeling? Just be really gut level honest, as I know what they are, but I want our audience to hear this. What are the emotions that come over you when you think about doing what I just told you to do? Calling up those friends and going, hey, I want to get into being an audio engineer. I'm taking all these classes. Here's what I'm up to. But I want to meet some of these folks and spend a little bit of time with them on the phone or in person to get a better idea of opportunities that exist in this area, or some advice they'd give me to keep moving forward. When you think about calling those folks up, telling them that, and asking them to connect you, what are the emotions you feel?
Well, I feel a little overwhelmed, fearful of maybe getting rejected, I guess.
Yeah, no question. You're afraid they might go, no, Paco, I'm not going to introduce you. So what would happen if they did say no? Would that be the end of it? Your dream dead?
No.
Of course not. Because you know how to get to these people. It's just you have some connections. That's the best way to get to them. But you could get to them without the connections, couldn't you?
Yes.
All right. So Paco, here's the deal, man. Welcome to the club. Fear of rejection is a real fear. But fear is a liar. So understand that we can say at the same time that these types of fears are real and that they exist. Yes, that's one of the big monsters, is the fear of rejection. We don't want to hear no. And so therefore we just don't ask. And the reality is that fear is always telling you a lie. So the fear of rejection is basically going, hey, they're going to say no. Everybody you ask is going to say no. Nobody wants to help you. And then they're going to think that you're a real loser because you asked for help. That's basically what it's telling you.
Mm-hmm.
Sound right?
Yes.
But is that true that no one in this world will help you, Paco?
No, it's not.
Is it true that those people, those are the friends of yours or acquaintances, that they're going to think you're a loser if you ask for a connection the way that I said it earlier? Are they going to think you're a loser?
No, I don't think so.
No. But here's another fun question. What if a couple of them did say no? What if a couple of them did judge you? Does that really matter in the grand scheme of things?
No, I suppose not.
Yeah. So Paco, it's time for you to get busy. Stop. You got to get over it. You got to get over the fear of rejection. And the only way to get over it is to step right into the fear and go, fear, you're a liar. It's simply not true. And you start asking for connections, and you get a phone call, an in-person meeting. You get those friends of yours to vouch for you, to say, hey, he's doing all this. He's close to getting fully qualified. And when you get on the phone with these audio engineers, you just go, hey, I want to be you one day. And I'm on my way. I'm close. I'm really close. And I want to spend 30 minutes with you. I want to ask you questions. I'll have my questions ready. I won't waste your time. I need your wisdom. I need your knowledge. And those folks are going to go, sure, man, I'll talk with you. And then you offer to volunteer, shadow them, help them do some of their work for free so that you build relationship and you get around those people and you get in places where they're doing the work and opportunities are going to come your way. Do you have my book, The Proximity Principle, Paco?
I do not.
Oh, my goodness. Well, today is your lucky day. I want you to hold on the line. Here's what's going to happen. Madison's going to pick up. She's going to give you the audio or the ebook or the physical copy, whatever format you love. And I wrote this book for people like you who know what they want to do, but they're not sure how to get there. And this book will unpack the 5 people you need to be around, the 5 places you need to be in. People plus places equals opportunity. The proximity principle says in order to do what you want to do, Paco, which is be an audio engineer, you've got to be around audio engineers, and then you've got to be in places where audio engineers are playing and doing their deal. And then opportunity will knock on your door. So hang on. Madison's going to take care of you. 844-747-2577 is the number to jump in. 844-747-2577. Let's go to Fort Collins, Colorado. Will is there. Will, you're on the Ken Coleman Show.
Hey, Ken. Thanks for taking my call today. Really appreciate it.
You bet. What's up?
So right now I am in kind of an indecision area in my life, lacking a little bit of clarity between 2 different career choices that I have.
Oh, okay.
So I went to college for wildlife biology, and I graduated last December, and I'm now in the final stages of the interview process for wildlife law enforcement, which is something that my dad had initially brought up and told me about probably about 6 years ago. And at the time, I thought that was a great idea. And in the interim time, while I was in college, I picked up a trade and apprenticed doing that. And I reached all the way up to the journeyman level.
What's the trade?
I shoe horses, so I take care of their feet. I'm a farrier.
Oh, great.
And there's a lot of horses around this area of Colorado.
Yeah.
And throughout those 5 years of learning that, and then while going to college, I was able to put myself through college debt-free, and I have started to really enjoy that trade way more than I thought that I would, and I didn't think that I'd be able to make a living at it or do any of those things that I'd like to do with it. And it's gotten to me, I'm all the way up to the baby steps for and saving for a down payment on a house.
Oh, that's great.
But it feels really good, and I guess where I'm lacking is just kind of deciding which one to do, which one's best for me. I feel like there's more internal motivating factors for staying with the trade just because it's something that I do enjoy doing,
yes,
and more external motivating factors for going, into what I studied in college just simply because I studied it in college.
Yeah. I think you've already answered your own question. I think that you've called me to get my take on what you're feeling. Is that fair?
Yeah.
All right. So tell me what your heart's telling you. We've got on one side, option 1, wildlife law enforcement. That's what you got your degree in, and your dad suggested it. Those are 2 heavy external influences.
Right, and I've networked a lot in that field, and I've met people. I've done a lot of
good for you.
And I spend a lot of my time outdoors, so
Good
that
for
part
you.
of it fits.
I get it. I already know what the answer is, brother. Stop trying to talk me into your head choice, because there's a head choice and there's a heart choice. Am I right?
Yeah.
Your head's telling you one thing and your heart's telling you other. I know what the answer is. I think our audience who's been watching this show long enough knows what your choice is. But let's tell everybody, what's your heart telling you?
My heart's telling me to stick with the trade because I've started to build a life for myself, with that.
Yeah, but hold on a second. Now you're trying to talk me and you into why the heart decision. Just say it. It's not because you've built a life and because you're doing well financially. Tell everybody why your heart is choosing being a farrier. Tell us the heart answer.
Because I'm passionate about it.
There we go, Will. There we go. You see what's happening?
Yeah.
Your head tried to get into the middle of the heart answer. We had to shut your head up.
And I think that's what I've been struggling with a lot is separating the 2.
Yeah, here's why. Again, you went and got a degree, and your dad suggested it 6 years ago, and you feel like either you're going to disappoint your dad or you feel like it's so illogical for me to go spend all this time and money on a degree that I'm never going to use. And it's probably a combination of both.
Yeah, I would 100% agree.
Okay, but your heart is saying, I love working with horses. I love being a farrier, and I could see myself continuing to move up. I've done well financially, and I absolutely love it. And I'm in this field that I know that I could continue to move up. Who knows where the trade of being a farrier is going to take you? But I would suggest to you it's going to keep you and take you to a place that the wildlife job would anyway, except that the work itself is not enforcement. You don't love the idea of being an enforcement officer?
No.
I know. So, dude, stay in the farrier position and grow there. And if your dad's got questions, you go, Dad, look, this is what I was created to do. I love it. Here's why. Explain the why one time. If he doesn't get it, or your friends or other family members don't get it, be okay with it. Because if you leave this trade and you go do what you feel like you have to do, not want to do, you're going to end up being miserable as an old man. Do you hear me?
Yeah.
And I'm proud of you, by the way. I can't tell you how much juice I'm feeling on your behalf. It's really fun to hear a young man call up and go, look, I've done the work here. I've figured this out. And I was planning on going this way, but I know I'm supposed to go this way. And it's okay for you to doubt that. But I would always doubt the brain, not the heart. You see the difference? See, the brain is all about protecting you, safe. But the heart is who you really are. The heart is the revelation of truly being in your sweet spot. Because I'll ask you this, just for everybody who's watching, maybe new to the program. Will, does being a farrier allow you to use what you do best?
Yes.
Does it allow you to do work that you love?
Yes.
Does it allow you to create a result that matters deeply to you?
Yes.
Then you're in your sweet spot, and don't ever look back.
Okay.
Proud of you, man. So cool.
Ken, I really appreciate this.
You bet, buddy. Listen, don't you ever turn back. Ever. No matter what anybody says, you've got to do what you were created to do. And when you're working with those horses, you just feel a sense of life and a sense of freedom and a sense of juice that you can't even describe. Am I correct?
You're right. All
right, then. Imagine not feeling that. When your head starts to engage, go, what would it be like if I didn't feel that every day? The answer is you'd be like what 70% of Americans were prior to COVID. No juice. None at all. Folks, this is serious stuff. You have one life. You better figure out what it is you're supposed to do and get about the business of doing it. Because, see, this isn't about success for Will. This isn't even about satisfaction for Will. This is about significance. Did you hear that, young man, when he talked about the work? When we chase significance, success and satisfaction come with it. When we achieve significance in our sweet spot by using what we do best to do the work we love, to produce a result that matters to us, listen to me, folks, success and satisfaction follow significance. It's about love. It's about loving the work and loving the result. When you get at that, success takes care of itself. But so many people are chasing success, and the way they define success is money and notoriety or power. And how many people in your life have you seen become miserable and crash and burn because they thought that success was the goal? It's not the goal, it's significance. 844-747-2577. Let's go to the chat room. DJ says, how do I ask my boss for a raise? Well, you don't ask him for a raise, you ask him for a growth plan. You ask for a growth plan. Hey, where can I add some more skills? What are some weaknesses that I need to do a better job of mitigating, making sure that I'm protecting the team from my areas of weakness? What are some natural areas of strength that you see that I can make even more strong and thus more valuable? How can I get better? Can we measure that together? Set out a plan and then measure it, because I want to increase my responsibility and my influence and ultimately my compensation. When you ask leaders like that, big time difference. You're not saying, I want a raise, I deserve a raise, I need a raise. You're not putting them in a defensive situation. You're saying, hey, I want your input on how I can get better, more valuable, grow my influence, and as a result of that, increase my results and compensation. Ganesh writes in, hey, Ken, I'm clueless and hopeless about my career, and I'm ready to leave my current job. How do I go about finding my purpose? You've got to do the self-discovery. It's the first stage of my 7 stages to meaningful work, living and working like no one else. The dream job, and then expanding the dream to new influence and new heights. That's where we end up with the 7 stages. Stage 1 is get clear. You have to look at what you do best. Those are hard skills and soft skills. Think of it as character qualities and then abilities. And so you got to figure out what you do best. I mean, I'm talking like 7s, 8s, 9s, and 10s only. If it's below a 7, I would consider that a weakness. I wouldn't even worry about it. We just want to be aware of the weakness, but we work on our strengths. We develop our strengths because those become the tools we use. So what you do best. Then we want to look at the type of work that you love to do, that you look forward to. And when we figure out the actual task or function or role that you love, now we've got something. That's what I love to do. It's not about notoriety, people knowing about how good I am. It's not even about compensation. It's about, I just love the work. I have high emotion when I think about it and engage in it, and I have high devotion. I don't want to stop. I want to get back to it. Time seems to disappear. So we now identify that's passion, what we love to do, work we love. And then finally, we know that all work creates results. So we want to look at what are the results of the work that I love? What are the results that I actually care the most about? Because there's lots of results, but I want to produce these results because this matters deeply to me. I see that as my mission, my contribution to make the world a better place by delivering these results. So that's the process. Call the show. Download the Career Clarity Guide, which is a worksheet that basically walks you through what I just said, and take a stab, and then call me with what you've written down, what answers that you've written down, and we can get you there. 844-747-2577. All right, I want to talk about something we all face, and that's pain. You know, this life cannot be lived without pain. It just can't. There's no way to live life and avoid pain. We try to, and then we experience pain instead of doing what is the sensible, normal approach, would be let's address the pain. We tend to try to avoid addressing the pain. Now, some of you have bigger struggles with this than others, but most of us, when we have some type of physical pain, we'll go, okay, we need to deal with that. But it is the emotional pain that we tend to not want to deal with. It's too messy. It's too hard. Dredges up the initial pain. But caller after caller on this program has revealed that there is always tremendous purpose, which is your why. Why am I here? There's tremendous purpose in your pain. So how do you find it? I'm going to give you a very simple 3-step approach for those of you that are in the midst of some pain, or you're in the process of healing, or maybe you've never actually healed and it's been hanging around like a nasty growth. I want to give you a 3-step process. How do we find purpose in our pain? Number 1, you must get healthy. In order to truly find clear purpose and see purpose in our pain, we must get healthy. Must get healthy. And so that is being able to identify what has happened, what you did, getting counseling, therapy, getting forgiveness or giving forgiveness. All of that is entailed in getting healthy. Once we get healthy, meaning if I have a cut, which I have a scar right here in the palm of my left hand from a boneheaded mistake I made one time, and I can see the scar, I can run my finger over the scar, and I can remember the circumstances around the scar and what happened. But as I touch it, I don't feel pain anymore. That means the scar has healed. That's what I mean. That's the same emotional effect as I have physically here, where I am healthy. The injury has been healed. So get healthy. The second step is then to get perspective. Once we are truly healthy in our emotional pain, once we get healthy and we truly get healed, we can now really go back in and examine what happened. Just like I would if I told you the story, or when I walked into the ER that day with a big old gash on my hand, I recounted for the doctor what happened. He asked more questions and we dug into it. So when we're healthy, we can go back into that emotional pain and we can truly go, okay, I'm strong enough now to revisit this, and I can look and truly examine what happened, why it happened. What were the real, true results of the pain? And so that's the perspective we've got to get. And once we have true perspective, that leads us to step 3, which is now we must use what we've learned. There are skills that have been developed in navigating the pain, lessons learned that now become red flags for the rest of our life. We can now identify these are areas that should be of concern. We got to be careful here. These are warning signs. There aren't just skills that we've developed in dealing and coming out of this pain, but also some strengths. The idea of that I've got some hardened areas and now my skin is protected. I've got scar tissue there that protects it, makes it stronger, whatever it is. Or in getting healthy, if I'm rehabilitating a leg injury, my leg should be stronger on the other side of it if I really, truly engage in the therapy. And so we walk out of this and we go, man, we've got a lot here that we've learned, a lot that we've been able to develop. And in doing so, it prepares us and makes us stronger, wiser, more knowledgeable on the other side of the pain. So this idea of the third step of use what we've learned, use it in your sweet spot. Use it with the people you most want to help. It was my wife, Stacy, who walked alongside of us, me, as we walked together through some difficult pain in our family early on in our marriage. And it was Stacy who said, out of tremendous pain can come tremendous purpose. And I really believe that. So get healthy, get perspective, then use what you've learned on behalf of others. I have experienced this pain. I have gotten better and stronger because of the pain that I have dealt with. So now I want to use that in my life on behalf of others. So there's always purpose in the pain. And that's how you figure out what the purpose is. What's the why? I didn't set out for this pain. I wouldn't want this pain for anybody else, but I can look back on this pain and go, hey, I'm glad it happened because it prepared me for my purpose. Some of you right now are hurting big time and you're going, Ken, I'm not at a place where I can even think about getting healthy. I can't imagine that there's any good that's going to come out of this. And I understand. I've been there. I get it. But I've also been there and I've come on the other side of this, and so have so many other people in your life. Or people in your life can point you to other people who have walked very similar journeys. Reach out to them. Reach out to them because they know. They know what you're dealing with. They've been there. And they're on the other side. And what you need most in this moment, for those of you that are right now in the middle of some unbelievably difficult pain, is you need to know that you're not the only one, and that others know exactly what you're feeling like, and they know how to encourage you, how to equip you. There are therapists and counselors that they have built a reputation. They are committed to helping you. They can give you the tools to get healthy. And then after you get healthy, I'm telling you, go back in. And there are always things that you will see that you learned that made you better, made you stronger, that now you can give to somebody else. And you will be able to redeem the pain. So I promise this works. Get healthy, get perspective, and use what you've learned. How tragic for all of us to go through the pain that we go through and never use it. See, I'm challenging you not to just try to survive the pain, but thrive coming out of the pain. Yes, we must all survive it. Fight. But don't just accept survival. Say, I don't want to just survive. I want to thrive and help others survive and thrive. That's what this is about. So I hope that encourages your heart. Well, Joe, my time is almost up. But before I let you go, you matter even in the midst of your pain. You matter. Hear me. You do have what it takes in the midst of your pain. Thank you for listening. Until next time, this is the Ken Coleman Show. Press on.